Alright, so since I can't currently stream due to internet issues, I'll be recording this locally as my AGDQ 2016 submission video for Portal 2 Solo Co-op. Now this is a little different than the 2 players, 1 controller runs that are quite popular. Instead of having a friend on the other side of the keyboard and mouse, I'm just going to take 1 keyboard and mouse and play both characters. It's a neat little challenge run that I started doing 2 or 3 years ago, just wondering whether or not it was possible. And after getting nearly to the end of the game, I thought that I was stuck, but with the help of another Portal speedrunner, Mr. Zbaz, we were able to finish the game and then start speedrunning it, so... Here's the general idea. You have your 2 robots. You can switch between them with the tab key. Audio cue here. Go ahead and wave to my partner.
Upcoming tests require you to work together as a team to facilitate collaboration. Both of you have been equipped with a ping tool. Blue, please use your good. Orange, please observe your partner's favorite animal. Good.
Little tutorial here for the ping tool.
Please use your
Used to communicate with your partner.
favorite element from the periodic table.
Obviously it's not super important here.
Blue, please observe your partner's interesting choice.
There is some opportunity for some jokes with the selections though, so I'll keep that in mind.
Your ping tool can also
So,
Blue is first to acquire a portal device.
Portal 2 is somewhat different than Portal 1 in that there's no accelerated backwards hopping. Instead there's just normal Quake-style bunny hopping. Since the physics are a little bit different than the physics in the single player from what I've experienced, bunny hopping seems to be a little bit faster. You also lose control more quickly, unfortunately, so it's not uncommon to slam into a wall.
For communicating specific locations to your partner.
That said, with enough practice you can get there. Now there's also some co-op specific glitches that I'll be using during the run. For instance, the cube physics are slightly different, which allow you to do things like this. If I crouch and look straight down, I can pull this cube straight through the fizzler and skip this puzzle. And of course, the button specifically designed so that the cube will not ever fall. Makes the cube fall off. A little bit of a timing thing there. I briefly switch back to orange to hit that button so that I can time it such that this audio cue happens. So right after she says calibration, I do the double wave again to skip an animation, and then we're done with the calibration course. Now, there are 5 courses in the co-op campaign. There's team building, mass and velocity, hard light bridges, excursion funnels, and mobility gels. Each of them has, I think, 5 to 8 levels.
By completing all test courses, you have achieved level
They each introduce a new theme. Team building is kind of the tutorial-ish level. So I'm going to revert back to level 1 here so that I can actually do all of the levels. Unfortunately, you do need to do that every time you go back to the lobby, but it's not a huge deal, and it's very quick. And we can begin.
Hello again. This testing course was originally created
So-
for humans. It emphasizes teamwork. Unlike
That's
us,
this portal.
humans need to be taught teamwork.
And on the button. There we go.
Blue receives 5 science collaboration points.
There's a lot of coordination to be done.
Although great science is always the result of collaboration, keep in mind that, like Albert Einstein,
And I sort of just woke up, so
we will only remember one of you.
as I get loosened up, it'll be a little bit easier to do some of these things, but it's a very coordination heavy run, and
You know, in
I'm usually quite proud of how well that I can do.
The winner is the one who scores the fewest possible points. I just thought you might find that interesting.
It is possible to bunny hop this gap, but it's incredibly dangerous and difficult and incredibly not marathon safe. And there's another example of bunny hopping too fast, losing control, and slamming into it. So, I always have my little anecdote here of how I first did the co-op with M1, another speedrunner, and we hated each other so much during this puzzle because we just could not get the timing right.
Very good. You've really
And now you can
come
just do it by
together as a
yourself.
team, thanks to the one of you who appears to be doing all of the work.
It was a good bunny hop. Another positive of the solo co-op run is that the load times are much, much shorter.
Teamwork and mutual respect are not employed at all times. Naturally, this will pose an interesting challenge for one of you, given the other's performance so far.
And burn some turrets.
What are you doing? You monster. They're one of us. I'm kidding. Destroying them is part of the test. They are no more important to you than you are to me. It would compromise
Stairs in this game are
to divulge individual scores. However,
very rude
I can
sometimes.
tell you that at least one of you is doing very, very well. Please continue into the next test chamber.
Little rock, paper, scissors animation here.
I think you are doing, but I don't like it. I want you to stop. The two of you have forged an excellent partnership.
We're
with
gonna
one
come
of you
this
handling
way.
the cerebral challenges, and the other ready to ponderously waddle into action should the test suddenly become an eating contest.
Oops.
While it may appear that I am only tracking your accomplishments using science collaboration,
That puzzle takes a lot of practice to do well.
every aspect of your performance will be reflected in your findings.
In solo co-op.
For instance, Orange, you just lost 2 opportunity advisement points.
Can't tell you how many times that I've got myself stuck in the maze or killed by one of the boxes or something, and it's a mess.
To reiterate, this is not a
So I
competition.
actually think that this is the hardest chamber in the run,
Orange should be winning. It's not.
but obviously after saying that I'm gonna get it first try easy every time. That bunny hop is not particularly difficult, but it can go very wrong. And just did go very wrong in the second half. Spoke too soon, I guess, on the easy every time. But if we bunny hop here, there's actually an underwater platform that you can bounce off of.
Specified. Teamwork is a concept in which 2 or more people work together.
Now Gladys is gonna berate
Usually
me
with
for
the goal
dying in
of
the
not
water.
failing horribly.
Alright.
Sometimes testing has to.
So now we're in one of the behind the scenes levels, and this is actually the first level that you can do completely solo. So Peabody is going to stay behind, and Atlas will take point here. These 2 lever puzzles are very easy to just do by yourself. You gotta be careful which wall you use here, because you can either get stuck behind a pile of computer monitors or just fizzle your portals accidentally. This pipe is not complete.
Oh, I almost forgot. When you go outside the testing courses, the only way I can retrieve
there we go.
disassemble you. Then carefully
Also, this catwalk
reassemble
is
you.
off-centered.
You don't feel pain. At any rate,
I'm very
you
tough
don't
to
have a
please.
way to communicate that you feel pain. I consider that a failing.
Alright, exploding robots marks the end of the team building course, so we're on to massive velocity. This is a fun one.
Welcome back to the central hub. All test courses are available. You may redundantly solve the courses at your leisure.
It's also got some tricky puzzles in it. At least as far as speedrunning goes. Where you need to do some tight shots or difficult cube maneuvers, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
This course was originally designed to build.
So we're going to start it off by doing a skip here.
To do that, the tests were nothing more than
Where you need
5 minutes
to
of
kind of
fun
curve a
walking,
jump into the very bottom of this
followed by
portal,
movies
and you get
and
stuck on the ceiling a little bit,
on how well they walk.
which will let you float
Since you are thankful
safely to the other
now,
side.
humans, I have changed the tests to make them far more challenging and far less pointlessly fawning.
I got it decently quickly both times, so. So here we're going to be using a reportal to get across to here, which is where you go through a portal and then shoot the same portal that you're going through to get an extra burst of speed. Oops.
You did an excellent job placing the edgeless safety cube in the receptacle. You should be very... Oh wait, that's right, you're not humans. I can drop the fake praise. You have no idea how tiring it is to praise.
We have a little
someone for
extra
placing
dialogue
an
time here to
edgeless
mess
safety
around,
cube
so maybe I can
into a
like play catch with the ball or
receptacle
something.
designed to exactly fit an edgeless safety cube.
A little something to do for fun, you know.
Electrocuted, shot, drowned, crushed, burned and good. Oh,
So we're gonna come over
sorry.
here.
I was just thinking of all the
1,
ways
2,
humans can die.
3.
You can't die in any of those ways.
Gonna shoot
You
this
just keep
here.
testing and testing, with perfect results and no consequences.
And get the 1 cycle. Hooray.
Well done. Interesting note. I only created this test to watch test subjects fail, and you didn't. You must be very, very proud. I'm building the world's smallest trophy for you. The best way to build confidence is to first recognize.
So we're moving on to one
insecurities,
where these
and
speedrun
write
here
down
is
all the
different
ways you
than
feel
the
unable,
actual co-op
ashamed,
speedrun
or
because
inferior.
when you have latency between the
Honestly,
players, you can do the
don't
button
have
stack
to
glitch, which
Just
makes
look at
this
how much
a
better you are than Blue.
little bit easier to do.
You are very good at being an example.
But you can still jump up and hit that pedestal button, which skips that. So what we're going to do is die here, get that explosion sound,
They said no.
and then
How
put
is
the
this even science?
ball
Without
into the receiver.
possibility of death.
And that skips a long dialogue unless you get straight on to the next level.
Remember when I told you that you were the only subjects to pass the calibration test? I lied. There are 5,000 other two-subject teams in direct competition with you. But don't worry, you are in the lead.
This is one of my favorite chambers to optimize, actually, because you have plenty of small windows to do your
Begin judgment test
movement.
in 3, 2, 1.
So like while orange was flying in the air, I tried to get a couple of pops in with blue. Well, I didn't need to control it, but I still need to pop back in and hit both pedestal buttons in time. Really do like that one.
Did you notice I didn't even stay to the end of your last test? I was confident you could finish. Do you know where I was? I was outside watching some deer frolic. You don't even care about the outside, do you?
I can make a joke there about how speedrunners don't care about the outside. Just need to go fast. That's a really cool speed solution there that skips most of the puzzle just by making a somewhat twiggy shot. There we go. Oops. You need to get a really good air strafe here to get around. There we go. And then we're gonna taunt before we hit that to skip the animation.
Do you know who dances around like an imbecile when they accomplish
Lots of small little optimizations in this run.
Humans. That's what you look like right now. You're better than that. If your confidence is still not high enough, remember.
Okay, so there's a cool trick here that's actually really hard to do, so
I was given too much empathy.
let's hope we get it quickly.
But I overcame my handicap. That's a true story.
Let's try it with Peabody. Peabody's a little taller, so it might make it easier to do. That's unfortunate. They patched it. There we go. So that normally does not take that long, but c'est la vie. Oops. Come on. Oops. And then we're gonna do this. Come through here. Yeah. That was a little awkward. That's usually first or second try, but you know, what can you do? When your weird finicky glitch to grab a cube through a solid dropper doesn't work.
Congratulations on completing that last test. But I find something troubling without the looming consequence of death. Is this even science? Your test time shows.
So, coming up here we have another 2-button puzzle. This one's with wall buttons though, instead of pedestal buttons. Fortunately, you can trigger the same button twice, and that counts as hitting the button on the other side as well. So let's peek through here, and this one's a little tricky because you need to do a strafe jump, reportal, there we go. And then there's a secret button on the wall that you can hit. So I guess it was just like a debug thing that they left in the game that lets you skip the next puzzle.
I think you have earned a break from the official testing courses.
Okay. Now, I know I say that a lot, but I'm a huge fan of the puzzle that's coming up next.
To complete this test, you need to find a set of blueprints. Don't worry, they are of no use to anyone. Totally boring and useless. This is just a thought experiment.
That cube is much easier to grab
Thinking about
through a solid object than the other one.
The correct time is 0 seconds.
Ooh, my biggest fan. So this is the slightly trickier double lever. Fortunately, there are rug strats that make it easy.
Very good. You found those useless blueprints. Well, I do need you to be in the room so I can see them. I want to be clear. There's no reason whatsoever for you to look at them. Done. I guess. I suppose.
I feel like it's basically a 50-50 shot whether or not the fan puns either guarantee this run gets into the marathon or guarantee that this run gets cut from the marathon, and all subsequent runs that I submit will get cut from the marathon and that I'll get banned from the marathon. What can I say though, I'm a gambling man.
This course was
So, this is hard light bridges.
by humans. They tend to do that. create something wonderful and then abandon it. Do you know why they abandoned this course?
Why did they abandon this course?
Too deadly.
I didn't know that. Sometimes when you play enough solo co-op, you start to talk to GLaDOS because you realize just how lonely you are. So we're gonna bounce here. Gonna bounce here. And we're gonna bounce here and complete this map with no portals.
Have you worked out the one good trait humans have yet? Let me give you a clue.
Ooh.
It's the one thing you can't do.
People do joke a lot about how, like, why do you run this category? Do you not have any friends that will run co-op with you? And I'm like, sure, I have plenty of them. We just race this category instead. Because there's nothing on this planet that I like more than racing a category intended for 2 people by yourself against 1 other person. That's a neat little design oversight that you can use to skip this puzzle.
You did very well. The humans closed this test because they said it was too deadly. I thought they would
I can tell that I'm waking up a bit. Maybe it wasn't the brightest idea in the world to roll out of bed and start recording, but I want to get this up before it's too late. I would be very happy to do this run at AGDQ. It's one of my favorites, and I think that the people watching the stream would absolutely love it.
Best tests, and they let plants grow here.
There we go.
Can you believe this? You can't test plants. We tried. They just sit there, never showing pain nor fear. That isn't science.
Oops. What am I doing? Dropped the wrong portal, so we had to improvise a little bit, which isn't a huge deal. Here there's a nice quick shot that you can use to... Oops. Saved it. Timing's a little tight on it, it's not too bad. This should definitely work now, though. I shot just a little bit too late there. But you can use the curvature of that bridge to bounce right to the end instead of actually doing the puzzle.
A reward for testing. At least the plants didn't want a reward. I created this test to let the humans feel good about themselves. It is extremely easy. Just follow the arrows. I'm sorry. The arrows seem to have rusted off. Good luck.
Might have forgot to mention, I'm doing a lot of wall strafing, because it's the fastest way to get up to speed. If you're strafing against a wall, you'll accelerate faster and have a higher top speed than if you would otherwise. Whoa. Okay, well. Let's do it like this instead. There we go.
Congratulations. Your ability to complete this test proves the humans wrong.
Misstepped a bit
Makes
there.
it impossible.
But there's an easy backup because there's, 2 characters
And one
and
test subject even had the
there's that
nerve to
convenient
call
little
it
portal space
broken.
there.
For this next test, the humans
So, the one and only out of bounds trick. That was it. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
I ran the numbers. Making the goo deadly was more cost effective.
It's a really cool route. You just portal bump out of bounds very quickly. Which is good, because out of bounds does not typically work very well in this game. We're gonna go red here.
To try and make this course more exciting, I asked the reassembly machine.
So there you can
not
see
reassemble you.
a tiny sliver of the angled panel
I understand.
from the very
That would be
tip
like
of the
asking
light
me
bridge.
not to
So
test.
you gotta curve that shot and
That
then
would've been exciting.
skip the rest of the puzzle. There's a lot of skipping of puzzles in this category.
This is a bridge building exercise. The humans were miserable at this,
Ah, come on.
mostly because
And that
you
portal.
can't build bridges out of tears.
Okay, so I'm gonna want to put a red portal down here, and then these two down here, and just whoa, that's not right. Okay, that's fine. These things happen. There is a way you can do that to kind of cut the corner, but I put the wrong portal down in the wrong spot and ended up on the wrong side, next to a bunch of bloodthirsty turrets. Fortunately, they don't kill you that quickly, so you can take a few hits. So it's much less punishing on mistakes than it could be. So we're gonna break the wall so that we can get past it.
The humans must have reconfigured.
Now, while they do kill
the
slowly, they
original
still do kill,
plans.
so you need to kind of tuck yourself away there. Fortunately, you have plenty of time while the dialogue completes and actually lets you go to the next level, so you're not actually losing any time there.
If you are wondering what that smell is, that is the smell of human fear. I miss that smell.
Oh, that was interesting. So I hit the faith plate, but I didn't go through the portal, which is unfortunate. That happened again. Alright, let's actually do this right. That is not actually doing this right. Okay.
Did you know the reassembly machine?
So that's the YOLO.
has other things it could be reassembling?
I feel like this chamber and I got off on the wrong foot.
Blue is back. Testing
Let's actually use the wall as per the intended solution. And then do this. There we go. All I wanted to do was look super sweet in my AGDQ submission video by doing the thing without the wall, which is like super hard, and I'd be like, oh my god, that was like super hard, but I didn't get there. I apologize for failing everybody. It'll be okay. I'll make it up for you here. Oh my god, I didn't hit the turret. Okay. Well, there's a way to handle this situation. You can turn around, hide behind this thing, then jump through here.
I am sure if I had the time to repair these tests, we would have never completed them. So again,
Well,
congratulations on
that was sort of a
completing
train
the
wreck, but what's a run without a train wreck? And just like the marathon, we're doing one take here. What you see is what you'll get, barring a lot of practice, which obviously will happen if I'm scheduled to do a run in front of
I am going to risk having you go
however
outside.
many thousands of people will be watching.
The humans accidentally forgot to put a security DVD in the player. I am sure it happened by accident. But why don't you put it back in the player? For safety.
Obi. There we go. Throwing objects in this game is not consistent from what I've experienced. It might be consistent, but it's not easy to do consistently. So here you have 6 ticks to slice the ball in half. A tick is the in-game unit of time, similar to a frame that is 0.16 seconds, and third try is actually kind of slow for that. Can usually get that first try, but these things happen. Another easy puzzle here. Now there's portal placement helpers here, so I used the 3 shots to kind of set this up into the right spot without being moved by the placement helper. Ah, bad jump. Let's try that again. It's kind of a tricky bunny hop here to actually make it because there's an invisible wall around the platform. There we go, much better. Not the greatest hard light bridges in my life, but
The word blob will be repeated over and over
yeah,
again.
we
If at some
finished.
point you hear a number rather than the
Wouldn't
word
hang it on
blob,
the refrigerator,
ignore
but
it. It is not important.
Today's security code is
oh yeah. Also, there's an Peabody in this level.
18.
Totally don't need it. All right, moving on to excursion funnels, which is an interesting part of the run for people who've never seen excursion funnels at work.
For your testing convenience, all tests are available, and all safety precautions within testing chambers have been deactivated.
Since I never expected you to make it this far, I have to build this new course just for you.
So here, this needs to be
I have
placed
noticed that you two have become
at the
extremely
edge
close.
there, but you still need to have the funnel coming out of it. So, we're going to stand here for a little bit and then crouch. And then fly away. So excursion funnels can be used to fly. It's not even difficult to use them to fly, you just get stopped in one, and then crouch,
It's not
and then
nice
while you're
to make
holding
fun of
crouch,
you like that.
you can just fly around. The game treats you as if you're still in the
Been doing
funnel,
some reading.
and your
Did you
gravity
know
is set
that
to
the word
0.
orange is
So you can do some
derived
zero
from the
gravity
same Latin
shenanigans.
root as the word traitor?
We'll be doing a lot of zero gravity shenanigans throughout this course.
Blue, please disregard the following statement.
Not here, however.
Orange, you have been a
This one is
shining
actually
light
doing
in
the puzzle.
otherwise ungodly morass of incompetence.
So we're going to set up some angles here. Do this.
Blue, I can't bite my tongue anymore.
So yeah, actual solution to that puzzle, go figure. Just do it quickly,
Orange
and it
is
still looks kind of
dragging
neat.
me down. There, I've said it.
Orange is dragging me down. There's a lot of opportunity for joking around with the Gladys lines about how one player is doing better than the other, one player is doing all the work, or like that, Orange is dragging you down. Those are all pretty humorous in the context of Solo Co-op. This is one of the hardest chambers in the run. You need to put these portals here, and then you're done. That's it. That's the whole chamber. Just set up your portals like that, and then you're done.
While teamwork is needed to complete these tests, I'm not
The
sure
huge
I
crusher at the
trust
floor and the cube and everything else, those are just red herrings. Don't worry about it. So, here. Let's do it this way.
Sorry I missed the beginning of that test.
I'm gonna be doing some more flying shenanigans here.
The reassembly machine about your becoming human. We all agree you should stop.
Gotta wait here for a few seconds just to make sure that your velocities actually hit 0. And then we're flying. Another taunt here to skip an animation.
You don't need to do that. Are you doing that just to aggravate me?
Okay.
Lou, how well do you really
So I'm gonna try this once.
Do you trust Orange?
Okay. There's a really difficult bunny hop that you can do
Orange's first cooperative
to
partner.
skip this map. Unfortunately, in Solo Co-op, you have to do it twice. Well, in Co-op, you also have to do it twice, but each player has to do it once. The much easier, albeit slightly slower way to do it is just to fly.
Orange, Orange, to be clear, I was just asking Blue if he trusted you. I trust you. You are my favorite cooperative testing subject.
You're my favorite deputy. The flying section, while not the most technically impressive of the speedrun, I think is at least going to be a hit with the more casual viewers who are just watching Alice and Peabody just sort of fly around the chambers instead of even remotely caring about the puzzles with them. Oops. There we go. Fortunately, we have another more technical puzzle coming up.
Do you feel betrayed by Orange for telling me those horrible things about you? If Orange had said those things about me, Orange would never make it to the next reassembly station.
Okay.
You both made it. It seems no matter what I try to do to pull you apart and destroy you, you just keep going. Keep testing. Don't either of you have drive to be better than the other?
It's like you're just machines. It is almost like that, isn't it? So there's a bit of tech that goes on in that puzzle.
At the start of this course, I was worried
It's another
you were
favorite of
going
mine,
to
just
quit, but in my attempt to
how
drive
quick it
you
is compared to the
apart, I
intended
learned
solution.
Something important about trust and betrayal. Your brains are too small to feel either of those emotions.
You can make it a
So
little
I can
faster with a
trust you
difficult bunny hop, but it's not
100%.
necessary.
This is the last test for the standard course.
So we have another,
Something I cooked up
whoops,
for you. I thought you might enjoy it.
another finicky shot here, kind of like the cube. Oh my god, never mind, it's not finicky, it's easy every time. That shot can take a while sometimes. Whoops, alright, wrong portal, but that's fine. That was probably the best that that chamber has ever gone for me, honestly, because of that super quick shot into the seam. Once you skip the second rat maze.
You completed the standard section of this.
Which I'm really glad that you can skip, because oh
Before
my
you
god,
go
doing that in
any
solo
further,
co-op would be so
I will
hard.
need you to complete one more test outside of the standard testing track. Please refrain from doing those childish gestures while you are out there.
So, the finale for excursion funnels is usually, like, it's a very long map with a lot of floating through
You need to
funnels.
find the power station at the end of this
So,
course.
naturally,
The
we found
humans
lots
must
of ways to break
accidentally
it.
disconnected it from my grid. I am sure it
So I
was just
typically
a
use this one
human
because it's the
error.
easiest.
Oh, those clerks.
We're gonna jump and shoot here. Oops, just run into the wall real quick, why not? Jump. Do some bunny hopping. Whoa! This is difficult because you need to kind of sway your hops in time to not get bopped. There we go. And here we are at the exit. That skips so much. Nah. Tried to throw the disc. I'm not very good at basketball.
You did it. You powered on system. I'm fully connected. I can
If you
see
throw the
everything.
disc and do this perfectly,
See, nothing
which might be
bad
worth
happened.
practicing, you can get to
Excellent.
here, where the companion cube will be behind that little wall that opens up. It's an achievement, and everybody loves companion cube, so it's probably worth it.
Welcome to the Computer Intelligence Training and Enrichment
So
Center.
we got one course
Subject
left.
Research Center. You have unlocked all available courses.
So Here we go with mobility gels. There's some really cool speed solutions in mobility gels. In pretty much all of the levels, actually.
This final course is training to reach the human vault. So this actually has a purpose.
So,
Those other courses were fun, but let's be honest.
let's go.
I need human test subjects for it to be science.
So we got a red one there.
Congratulations on completing the test. You two really are the best cooperative testing team I could ever ask for.
The best cooperative team, and I'm not even a team.
Are you curious about the humans? It seems some of the last non-testing humans alive tried to secretly imprison other humans and hide their tracks.
There we go.
I think they wanted to punish
This is a little
them
tricky. You need to
by not allowing me to include
go
them in
closer to the
testing.
base there.
That's why humans
There we go.
couldn't
That should
complete
work.
these courses. They treat their friends as enemies.
It's actually a kind of tricky strafe. You need to do all of your turning near the bottom of the jump. Otherwise your horizontal velocity is too fast. And see there, I didn't get to the end.
Now you're just wasting my time.
I am just wasting your time, I apologize. There we go, that should be fine.
To start preparing for human testing again.
See, you need to do all of the strafing near the bottom of the
The
jump.
number one request.
Otherwise, your horizontal velocity is too high and you
That's
will
ridiculous.
lose
How
control
do they know for sure
and
the
not make it
tests are
across.
deadly if they could still
So,
write the suggestion?
it's a tricky jump and go figure you have to do it twice.
To get to the vault, you are going to need to use all.
So here I'm going to
the
completely
supermen.
ignore this puzzle.
To help, I have made these tests extremely difficult. I would say extremely deadly, but we all know, for you and your amazing ability to be reassembled, nothing is deadly.
There we go. No, this one. Not the light bridge. There we go.
Your failing does not make this science.
So, that little maneuver there skips that puzzle, and then you have a kind of tight jump here. There we go. Where we want to, yeah. If you time that jump properly,
For you two,
you
while I
just
can't
get
control
straight to the
world
end of the
outside
puzzle.
the testing courses, the reassembly machine can continue with his work. You will need him for the final trap. I didn't mean to make you feel bad earlier about your tests not being real science.
So here's one of my favorite
Finding
examples
out
of
they
map
weren't
design
meant
coming
for
back
some
to
sort of test in and of itself.
by the creators,
Congratulations
with this little light
on
here,
passing that
making it
test.
possible to just skip straight past this. And it's almost funny how like this almost looks like a normal game design. Like you have the tutorial mode with the light, and then after that you have hard mode with no light. You have to do the full circle strafe. Got first try both times though, which is good.
I wonder if the humans will make a statue of me for rescuing them. Oh, don't worry. If they ever write an historical document of my heroic rescue, I will make sure your names are included in the footnotes.
Get it? Footnotes. And I looked at the foot because it's the word foot. Get it?
While I will receive all the glory for the rescue, don't think you two aren't going to get something.
Okay.
The bond you form during these tests
Whoa.
will last a lifetime.
And of course I go the wrong way. Okay, this is a timing puzzle. And of course I timed it incorrectly because I'm really bad at video games. There we go. Alright, so once you have successfully timed your timing puzzle, you want to drop the cube on that particular part of the button, and then shoot the portal back into the puzzle. Whoa.
At the rate you are completing
So
these
that trick
tests,
where
I'm
you
beginning to
kind of
think you
steal the
don't
cube
share
from
my
the previous
excitement
map
for rescuing
is really
dying,
important because
injured,
doing this puzzle
dying
solo
humans.
co-op is incredibly
If that
difficult.
doesn't motivate you, I'm not sure what will.
Possible, but incredibly difficult. So fortunately, the map is designed in such a way that you can shoot a portal back into the chamber that you already completed, and if you've put the cube in the right spot, you can steal it right back.
They are as bad as you might think. Smelly, gross, annoying, often wanting to try and kill you.
So here we have a
They
kind
do
of
make
tricky...
great test subjects.
There we go. Kind of tricky fling there, where the goal is to orange gel boost yourself directly into one of the portals so that you can start one of the
We are only
momentum
2
preserving
tests away from
vertical
reaching
flings.
humans. Are you as excited as I am?
This is a pretty cool puzzle.
Only one more test after this. I know your cores are reused from calculation machines, built for simple mathematical operations and not for testing. But if we can rescue the humans, I promise you something to add, maybe even subtract.
Okay, we do this first. Now there's a trick here where you start fully crouched, start moving crouched and then uncrouch, and you'll get up to speed much more quickly than you would if you were just standing on the speed gel.
In case you're worried about the humans, don't be. They aren't all monsters. Most of them are simply good test subjects. I believe the ratio of good test subjects to monsters is about 1,000,000 to 1.
So using that trick, you can accelerate in a small enough space that you don't need to use any weird portal shenanigans. This is important,
The human vault is just past that opening. I entered the security
because otherwise it would be
vault door
impossible to
remains
solve that
locked.
puzzle in
I'm
solo
going
co-op.
to need you to activate the manual locks on the vault door itself.
So that button doesn't actually do anything, but it is helpful for timing yourself so that you don't accidentally get killed by the turret. Here we do a little jump through this non-solid geometry, and then a nice fling through here. There we go. Some pixel shots to skip past that part. One last lever double grab, and then a little bit more flying to top it all off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then stand up, float over to the button, and then jump. And because we're still in zero gravity, we can float over to this pedestal button, break our funnel, thereby breaking our zero gravity, and bounce across to the end of the co-op. So,
Something is wrong. This door should be opening.
that's it. That is Portal 2 Solo Co-op. Not the fastest run I've ever done, but still well within estimate time. Obviously that was not PB or anything, but my PB video is from like a year and a half ago or something. So this is a good updated video. The route hasn't changed much since then. It was basically an adaptation of the already optimized Portal 2 solo or Portal 2 regular co-op speedrun with a few changes. And yeah, aside from that, it's pretty much been the same run for quite a while, but it's still a really cool run in my opinion, and I would be honored to run it in the marathon.
You did it. You really did it.
So, with that said, I'm going to let the ending
All your
sequence
testing
play,
was worth it.
then stop this video, and
Just
I'll
look at all those
also be able to
test
link in the
subjects.
description to this
Think
YouTube
of
video,
all the testing.
if I can find one, a VOD of me doing this in
Save
another community marathon, because I've done this in several community marathons, and it's always a favorite. It was one of the donation incentives at one of the SRG marathons. Did it at the Wolfpack Marathon. Lots of different stuff. So yeah, very cool speedrun, and I'd be glad to do it. So thanks for watching.